Hello everyone, welcome to a new series that I am putting out onto my YouTube, all about my client journeys. So we're going to do a series of different clients talking about what their issues were when they first came to me, what they wanted to achieve, and then how we achieved them. So my first client that we're going to be talking about is my client called Katie. Now, this is Katie. Katie came to me just over a year ago, and she wanted to be wedding ready. She wanted to drop some body fat. She wanted to feel stronger. Now, Katie is an ex-gymnast, competitive gymnast. So she was already considerably strong. She already had quite a good knowledge of the gym and working out and just having an active and healthy lifestyle. But she really felt that she was lacking confidence in an actual gym environment rather than in a gymnastics gym. Now, she was still enjoying gymnastics on a weekly basis. She joined in and went with her friend, and she still wanted to integrate that into her weekly routine. She thought it was really important, and she wanted not just only to reach her goals ready for her wedding, which albeit was only a couple of months away, she also wanted to ensure that she was building a stronger and healthier body for her, ready for when she then, was, we say competing, was enjoying her sessions when she was at gymnastics. Additionally to this, Katie is also hypermobile, so we had to be very aware of when she was lifting under load to ensure that she was lifting effectively and safely, because ultimately with her condition, it meant that she had additional movement within her joints. And we had to also ensure that her tendons and ligaments around those joints were also strong as well. Otherwise, we could open up the idea that injury could happen, and we wanted to try and minimize that as possible within the gym and also within her gymnastics. So because she had a little bit of time off from obviously competing when she was younger, we wanted to ensure that when she did come back to it and did more sessions, so she was currently doing 1 session a week, she wanted to go to 2, we needed to make sure that when she was doing that kind of extra volume of training, her flips on the beam, or for anybody that's watched gymnastics, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, Google it. But we needed to make sure that she was safe when doing those movements. And like I say, I'm not a gymnastics coach, so when it came to her training during those sessions, she is a coach in her own right in the gymnastics world, so I left that very much to her. But when it came to the gym stuff, we needed to ensure that she was as strong as possible. Now, with Katie, she was really keen to train her upper body. It's something that she wanted, and if you ever bump into this amazing lady, she'll always say to you, I want the biggest shoulders. She said, I want the biggest arms. And eventually, and as I go through the slideshow, you'll see some pictures of her in her wedding dress. She said that she wanted to have the biggest shoulders, and she had and she had a gorgeous a kind of sweetheart neckline and no sleeves to her wedding dress, and she was like, I want to look massive. So that was our goal as well. So she came to me wanting to be wedding ready. We kind of first started with kind of more confidence things, and then obviously went through a bit of a fat loss phase. And she just, wanted to get her spark back. She wanted to get that exercise spark back. So that was what she came to me with. Now, what we did. Okay, so this is a picture of Katie when she first started. She was not confident in her body composition. I said we wanted to lose some fat, but she wanted to build her upper body. So we put her training plan into place with a little bit more upper body than lower body. Albeit, because of her ex-gymnastics past, she had very, very strong lower body. So we gave her 5 training days, because that's the day she wanted to train. She wanted to train for 5 days. And we gave her 2 lower body days, 2 upper body days, and then a mixture of the 2 on the 5th day. And we kind of said that because of her work schedule, so she did have a 9 to 5, but she did a lot of, she was on the road quite a lot. So she was going to, I'm saying this in the past because she's changed jobs now. But she was going from different locations to see different patients. So we needed to ensure that some weeks she would be super, super busy and she'd only be in a fit in 4 sessions. So we had that 5th session as an additional one for her to add in as and when she wanted to. And that worked really, really well for her. So the main thing that we focus on, like I said, was upper body focus, but also on educating around compound movements. So because she wanted to get stronger, we focused on things like her upper body, so like bench. We did a Smith machine shoulder press because, like I said, she really wanted to build her shoulders. And time under tension is super important when we're looking at hypertrophic training. So anything controlled movements, something like a Smith machine, is absolutely piece of resistance. So we focus on those. Also, she was training in a pure gym, so, and I say nothing against pure gyms. I've worked in one for almost 2 years now, and have had a considerable amount of clients within that pure gym, and it does exactly as it says on the tin, you know. So, but with pure gyms, and particularly the one that I'm working in, we don't have as many bits of kit as potentially like a bodybuilding style gym. So we had to work around what we had. Smith machine was an awesome option, so that's what we did. Other compound movements we looked at, something like a hip thrust. She was like, you know, I really want to grow my upper body, but again, as us ladies do, we like to build some glutes, me included, because that's part of my sport. I love building my glutes. So we did focus a lot on glute and ham based movements. We wanted to ensure that we were training her anteriorly and posteriorly equally. The last thing we want to do is like really focus on like anterior, like quad movements, and we're not working on the posterior movements, because what tends to happen, and you'll see this in a lot of like bodybuilding as well, is particularly is more so in gentlemen, is maybe people that don't have a coach and don't have someone experienced to talk to them about this, is they'll train loads and loads of chest and not a huge amount of back and loads of shoulders, and everything will come forwards, and to make themselves look bigger, they'll put their shoulders forwards in their posture, and because we're on a foam, we're all close and forwards and this kind of thing. So we need to make sure that we are training posteriorly and anteriorly even, so that we don't find that we create muscular imbalances, particularly for a client like Katie, because she is also training for function. She's training to perform in her gymnastic movements. The last thing that we need is to cause muscular imbalances. So that was super important as well. Now, when it came to like daily step count and cardio, obviously she was in a deficit, so we need to ensure that we are creating as much movement as possible. So she was on 10k steps a day, and we started off with three lots of 20 minutes of cardio. And she chose a Stairmaster because she's a Stairmaster girl. Didn't start off that way, as most people don't, because it looks like a bit of a scary machine, I can't lie, but she got into it, ended up loving it. And I will say the angry looks that I used to get if I was in work and she was doing cardio. If you're watching this, Katie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She'd look at me as if to say, Hannah, how are you making me do this? But I tell you what, I will not say anything bad about Katie, because if I told her to do something, she would do it. Like, this girl is dedicated, and you will see the results in a second, because it's absolutely incredible. So yeah, we started off, like I said, with nutrition wise, we started with a 2-week maintenance. And then we incrementally removed carbs and a small amount of fats from her. One thing we did do was remove dairy products. So we removed lactose, just to help with kind of gut symptoms and bloating, which really seemed to help, particularly with some other medical conditions that she has. So that really helped when it came to like her gut microbiome, excuse me. Gosh. So yeah, that's what we did. Now, the results, what you've all been waiting for. Yes, Katie, look at this, incredible. So up until her wedding, she lost 8 kilos. She went from 78 to 70 kilos. Now, Katie's quite a tall girl. So she's, I'm going to say, around the 5'9" mark. If I got that wrong, Katie, please do tell me. But I'm a tiny one, so anyone is taller than I am. I'm only 5'1". So, but yeah, she dropped 2 dress sizes, and she had to have her wedding dress altered twice. So when she had it originally altered, it fit perfectly. It was beautiful. Then we went through this diet phase, and she had, when she went in to go and have it fitted, I think it was about a month before her wedding, they had to then take it in a Lotus again. And if you ever go back to my Instagram, there is a video quite a while back actually of us training together, and in that video she cracks me up, because apparently she was having her wedding dress fitted with her mum, and she started doing a flex in her wedding dress, and her mum goes, Katie, stop that, you're not meant to do that in a wedding dress. But what I love about Katie is she's so individually herself, and she doesn't care what anybody thinks. And she was like, no, I want to look amazing and have amazing shoulders. I mean, look at her. Look at this. Beautiful shoulders and beautiful lats. So anyway, she ended up attending her gymnastics twice, and she said she felt so much stronger and so much more able to perform her sport, like so much more confident. And she also found a new confidence in and out of the gym, and ultimately she looks incredible. So yeah, that's Katie. I have a few lovely photos of her wedding, as you can see. Lovely shoulders, lovely dress, and doing a little bit of her gymnastics over at Pure Gym. So Katie has been like a long-term client of mine. I was with her for I think almost a year, just over a year. And then we started to really move into the wedding prep, slightly closer to the time. But she's absolutely smashed it and she looks incredible. So if you're watching this, Katie, like big round of applause to you because you've done awesome. Katie had stepped away from me for coaching for a little while due to some medical conditions. And I hope at some point in the future, if she ever feels that she's got her next awesome goal, because this girl is competitive as anything and she loves her sport, we have discussed her coming back into coaching and potentially, I mean, at one point we were even looking at her doing a bodybuilding show. So she ended up kind of seeing what I was doing and thought, actually, I'd really like to do that as well. So potentially that might be on the cards at some point in the next year. So Katie, if you are thinking about that, let me know, babe, because we're going to do it. It's really, really awesome. Like, I cannot clap this girl enough because she's an absolute rock, and yeah, she's absolutely smashed her goals and she looked incredible at her wedding and she still looks incredible now. I'll also say that as well, since moving away from me, she has maintained this as well. So the main thing when it comes to myself and my coaching and my services is that what I am doing throughout this whole process is educating my clients. I want to ensure that when eventually a client steps away from me, ultimately if a client doesn't step away from me, I haven't done my job properly. If they are yo-yoing and they're kind of, not getting the results that they want, then I'm not doing my job properly. So if a client leaves me knowing that they have the knowledge, they have the experience, and they understand what they're doing for them to maintain the look that they wanted to achieve, then awesome. I do have some clients that are still with me after 2 years, but that's because their goals have evolved and they've decided that they want to move on to something else. And you'll see more highlights of my other clients in videos that are going to come after this. So yeah, big round of applause for Katie. But yeah, if you are looking to achieve new levels of goals like Katie has done with me, then by all means either pop me a message on Instagram. I will have my socials linked below this, or alternatively you can inquire through my inquiry form, which will also be linked below. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, night, wherever you are in the world, and yeah, I look forward to speaking to you soon.